I will also talk quickly about wind analysis. By default, when you run the wind, it gives you a very quickly prediction. This I should call this as prediction, not simulation, by AI. So the green and the yellow represent the different level of comfort, and you can get this probably in like less than 20 seconds. However, if you want to do a more detailed simulation, not an AI prediction, is a full simulation, you can run, which will actually uh, take a much longer time, so detailed simulation. So to save time, I already ran this detailed simulation with wind. It took me about 15 minutes to finish. So I will show you the result and you can see the difference. So the immediate difference is now the simulation is able to be added directly into the three-dimension building model. And there you have the options. For example, if I start with comfort, I can start with a different comfort scale. I think the Lawson LDDC is the common one in Europe. So I was just using this one, and you can see the color represent different activities: sitting, standing, walking, uncomfortable. So I can see in my building, if I have roof, right? This is focused on the roof. Some part of the roof is not really comfortable for sitting or standing. But some of them probably is okay if you want to have a roof garden or if you have some accessible, social space on the roof. This might be the better place than the orange and red one. So these are the settings. You can also see the percentage of the area. Okay, and of course, if you switch to the different standard, the visualization will be a little bit different. If you do want to dive into what exactly is the different scale, you can go to Forma website and then just search comfort scale calculation. I think the Lawson is probably the oldest, the most popular one. All right, so that is one. You can also go to direction, and direction basically is a kind of allow you to pick the orientation of the wind. So it depends on the area. If you know certain direction of the wind has more or less impact for the uh, discomfort, you can sort of see these individual directions. And here is the mile per hour. So you can see this is relatively mild as blue, but you can see definitely the different directions. Right? Apparently, the darker blue has more significant contribution to the discomfort. That's the reason this part, um, if I switch to the comfort, is a little bit orange on the right, because the wind here has a strong contribution for that discomfort. Okay, I think that's it about the wind simulation. Again, if you wanna see this detailed, you have to run a detailed simulation, not just AI prediction. They are quite close, but definitely for 3D building simulation, you want to do a detailed simulation. Okay. All right, we'll continue to talk a little bit about noise simulation with AI. So in Forma, if you click noise, you are able to compute the noise quickly, like this way. You can also, if you can afford a little bit, 10 minutes, you can run a detailed simulation. So the difference is a detailed simulation will allow you to see the noise distribution across a three-dimension massing model. So you can sort of see here the facade is pretty exposed to the traffic noise, but courtyard is relatively quiet, right? So you can actually get this kind of very detailed noise distribution in 3D. So when you run noise simulation, if you get a very empty or white blank result, most likely it's because you have not defined the traffic data. So here if I click roads, you can see this purple line, this is my roads. And then if I, for example, I think I can right click and edit the base, I can actually select individual roads, and for each roads you selected, you are able to customize the traffic data. So let me show you really quick. So here I select the roads, right? And then here in the traffic data ADT is average daily traffic, I put 5,000 vehicles here. Maybe it's a little bit exaggerated. It's running 90 miles per hour. That's definitely very, very high. You could, try a lower number. And immediately you can see the recomputing of the noise. Probably it's not 5,000, maybe it's 500. Then if you run again, you can see a distribution significantly different. Okay, so these are the values you have to define when you have a roads. Just make sure you select the roads, and then you can define the amount of traffic. This is called traffic noise data. Again, if you do have actual data from the survey, this will be more accurate. Okay, so this is about the roads, traffic data, and the noise simulation. Another thing I usually do in Forma is, if I close this, is you can still continue edit your massing model. So for example, once you see the traffic, maybe you'll say, hey, maybe I don't want this area too close to the road, right? So you click, editing mode. You have all kinds of tools here available, and you can manipulate. For example, you can draw lines. You can create 3D forms. You can do boolean operation, right? You can also move, extrude new faces. So let's just do a few editing. So here I can select the whole face. I don't want this to be too close to the road, so I can actually push backwards, and you can see I pushed 20 feet. Maybe you can also type directly 10 feet. So now you pushed the whole building 10 feet away from the traffic, right? So this is definitely very easy to do. Also, if you want to continue manipulate the geometry, I would say, hey, maybe I want to just add additional lines. So maybe I want to add a new line here, right? Enter finish. I want to maybe add another line here. Enter finish, right? So once you have these new lines, it's running the simulation. Let me make sure I'm getting out. I don't want to run the simulation by accident. So let's do this edit 3D mode one more time. Since I created these new lines, right, I'm able to click the new face. I'll say, hey, I want to create extrusion for this part of the building. So you can still manipulate. You can also type the values directly here, maybe 20 feet, right? So you can shape this building over time. So maybe I want to move this down, right, not too high. So you have this, and maybe in this part of the building, I want to select this new face too close to the traffic. I can move them around, or I can click this face. I'll click this face. You can do more editing, right? So maybe I will just pick up this and then just make it a little bit higher. Yeah, I'm just exaggerating, the iteration here. Okay, so pick up this, and I will just make this lower. So you have this widget face, right? So you can continue manipulate this over time. And if you need actual levels, because right now the level is still the same as before. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 levels. So if you want to add additional, you could be able to do it. So definitely, I don't want this be. Yeah, I can actually add a few. So we have 6 levels, right? And level 7, which is this 36 tall, I will just leave this as a single program. Okay, so you have these extra levels and then enter finish. Okay, so once I'm done, I'm going to exit. Right, so you have these additional floors, and for these floors, you can definitely go ahead assign the new function. So here I maybe want to do this as a commercial on the roof, and then this one will be my residential, and this one will be my residential. All right. Once you are editing this massing model with program, this FAR value will actually update. Right. So after I check the FAR right now is 1.05. You can also see the breakdown of residential and commercial. So it's pretty robust to updating these values almost in real time. Next, I will talk quickly about carbon analysis. By default, if you imported your OBJ from Rhino or other program, this might not work because you do need a native Forma geometry with some analytical properties. So like the one I have here, which is created directly in Forma. So I did this by just create a basic building. Maybe I will just show you really quick. When you create a basic building, you can use all kinds of ways. So for example, I can do 3D sketch, right? Then I can define a footprint, close it, and then I can extrude the building. So that's you create this kind of native building. The difference between this building and the objects I imported from Rhino is this building in Forma you can actually define the properties. Okay, so here if I exit, you can see when you click this object this new building, you have this option called Run Carbon Analyze. You might also see these building properties, right? So if I click, I can see the building type, structure, envelope, right? And also I can click the setting box. I can define this as residential. Maybe this is a mass timber. Maybe the material, the envelope could be brick veneer. So you can define these values. And there's a pretty long list. You can also define the window to wall ratio. Apparently, the more window you have, it takes more heating cooling to maintain the indoor temperature. If you're not sure about what are these each category, you can click the carbon definitions. There's definitely a breakdown of each. Right. So my point is, if this object is natively created in Forma, you are able to set these building properties, and after that you are able to run the analysis. So if I overlay, you can actually see these three buildings. I can apply the carbon analysis, but not for the Rhino model. The building can also continue to reshape. So for example, if I right click, I can add it in 3D sketch. Then I can continue. For example, I can draw some lines. I'm just doing a really simple one. And then I created this new face, and for this new face I can go ahead extrude. So instead of choose extrude up, I will extrude downwards, so maybe only in 2 levels, so you can kind of sculpt the geometry, right? So if I'm doing this one more time, I'm going to create another maybe line here, right? And then pick the new face, and then I can extrude one more time downwards. So I want to just create some kind of sculptural shapes of this building. So because I reshaped the building, let's close it. Now the overall square foot changed. With also the building type, you can definitely reconfigure these settings. And then if you run the analysis one more time, you probably will see a quite different result. Okay, so the green means a little bit lower carbon, the blue is a higher one, right? I can definitely run this to individual, or I can see the history of the previous computed the carbon analysis. Okay, so these are the values. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much about um, carbon. I did a couple of times, so you can definitely see the result. I think this one is probably the earlier. Oh, this is the latest one. So you can see the three building I created natively in Forma. They carry this analysis based on the envelope structure and the interior and MEP, mechanical engineer, and mechanical ventilation, and other building systems. Okay.